Okay, good afternoon, folks. My apologies. I didn't realise you guys had skipped forward an hour. I was just watching Trader Tom, and he said something, and I'm thinking, what's going on? And I'm having a browse at the charts, and I'm thinking, God, we've had a lot of volume today. So I thought we usually go forward first. And then you guys, we don't go forward till the end of the month. And I know it's usually a little bit apart, but I thought we went forward. So my apologies. So I wonder why we had such a lot of volume. I'm thinking, what am I missing? So good afternoon, all. Hey, Karina, how you doing? Yeah, forgot all about it, bud. Daryl, how you doing? Speedy, how are you? Okay, saying Spain bought a new Alex. Yeah, I didn't know. No one mentioned it. I don't know. Usually people will say, won't they? But so that's fine anyway. The only trouble is I can't trade my main accounts for about another 25 minutes, which is all right. Kind of happens. The same issue, mate. Keep up to date with it. Yeah. Okay. So, you saw Panda, did you? Yeah. So, I have taken a couple of trades. I took something last night. I can't remember what it was now. I think I took one on the NQ. I took one earlier there, the lower high. For me, I had this down there with the break here. So I took that one there, knowing that there's kind of a higher low there and there's going to be traders trap. So I took that just on the one account. And I took a couple of others. I can't even remember what time frame they were on. Just traps again, looking for trap traders. I can't remember whether it was something to do with that. I can't remember now. So yeah, so that's okay actually. I don't mind trading a bit early. It just means, trouble is, when I usually finish 5:30, 6 o'clock, it's sort of dinner time in the UK. So as I'm work from home and my wife goes out to work, and being an ex-chef, I tend to do all the cooking. So I know my 16-year-old's usually moaning she's hungry about 6 o'clock, so that will give me an extra hour trading actually. So that's good news. But yeah, I mean, you've gone forward early. I can't remember. Someone's just messaged me how to keep it updated. I mean, I usually pretty much know. Yeah, someone's just dropped that in. I'm assuming, yeah, it's like a reminder of some sort. So that's it, everyone. Can I do just 2 points with Apex, or does it need to be 4? No, 2 points. You can do whatever you want, really, mate, to be honest with you. You're thinking of, I think My Funded Futures for a while did that. I think they've eased up now, but no, you can scalp a point if you want, mate. I wouldn't suggest it. Personally, I think it's 2 points minimum. So, but yeah, you're good to go, mate. But yeah, whatever works for you. Yeah, I mean, that 5-to-1 risk. That 5-to-1 risk is a little bit negotiable, I think, because a lot of times we might get out for a tick or a couple of ticks or something like that, and that would make a problem. If you were doing it all the time, I think it's an issue. But yeah, I mean, I go for 3 points. So technically, well, most of the time anyway, as long as my risk isn't 5 times that, which it never is, there's never an issue. But yeah, I would suggest going for 2 points anyways. Very few trades that go for a point that don't go for 2 points. It's a no-brainer for me. Okay, so let's just have a quick look at this chart. So I've got this as maybe a spike and channel, something like that, with a break and 2 legs down to a new low. So still negative, these markets. We gap down overnight, but still negative. I think all these tariffs, the only thing I can think about is it's a lot to do with the tariffs. But I know Canada have now got our old governor of the Bank of England, Mark Carney. So it'll be interesting to see how he deals with Trump. So it'd be nice to get all this. Mind you, from a trader's point of view, I don't think this is a bad thing. The only thing that's made it tricky for me personally is that ATR's been high. It tends to floating around 4.5 to 6, which is making the average bar size reasonably large, which is why in a lot of cases I've missed quite a few trades. But it never bothers me missing trades, in all fairness. I've got no issues. I'd rather keep my account exactly as it is and not have to worry about just risking too much. I thought it was always 8 points. So that looks kind of like a correction. So hence I've put this second leg down. Now whether it happens or not, I don't know. We're at Friday's lows at the moment. What else we got along here? Nothing. We've not been down this low for I'd say since way before Christmas. So there's definitely blood in the streets. I've decided to get out of my crypto as well. All of it. I've sold it all. Because crypto isn't doing too good either. Fear and greed is right at fear at the moment, so I haven't made as much as I wanted to, but it's just not worth the risk at the moment. Bitcoin's down to just floating above $80,000. Everything's dumping. I mean, Ethereum is nearly under $2,000. So, and I bought some H-bar. I did take a bit of a hit on that H-bar, but I don't mind that. But everything is dumping at the moment. It's just negative. We're right into fear at the moment as well. So, I don't know. Are we at the end of this bull market? Who knows? Who knows? I hear some people say it's a possibility. Bitcoin's already hit the top. Other people saying no, we could go a lot higher. What can you do? I tend to have a lot hit and miss with crypto. I've done better this year than I did in the last bull run. But what I think I'm going to do with my money, the little bit I've made, which is not much, I haven't made 1,500. To be honest with you, what I'm going to do is start dollar cost average of Bitcoin. You know, a lot of institutions are buying Bitcoin now. You know, people like Michael Saylor, it's just DCAs. That's all he does. So if it's good for the big boys, I'm going to start doing that. So I'm just going to start buying into Bitcoin. $80,000 is not a bad starting place, I don't think. It may go a bit higher, but as long as you keep averaging in, that's what I'm going to start doing, I think. And I'm going to have a chat with you, Tony, if you're around at some point. What I might do is just buy bits, and whenever I get to 500 or 1,000, I might just stick it into a wallet, offline a cold wallet, but I don't know which one to buy and the cheapest way of sending it over. So I'm going to have a chat with you, Tony, if you're around at some point. Now, Tony's UK, so he might have completely forgotten about today as well. So yeah, this is the daily. So we haven't been down here since, wow, September, middle of September. This is the lowest we've been. I mean, this is since Trump's come in. I mean, it must be more or less. I mean, look at that. It's scary, really. I mean, I know these things do tend to fluctuate, but if you got a pension in here, that's taken a bit of a dump. So realistically, since Trump comes in, we're down the best part of 500 points. What's that? About 8-9%? That's a fair drop, that is. I gotta say, I'd love to know what Trump's end game is. I can't see he's stupid enough to just let this happen without doing something. Now, I don't mean to offend anybody who's Trump fans. I know he's got fans out there, and but just based on face value, from what I've seen since he's come in, it's affecting the markets negatively, everything. So whether there's an end game with these tariffs, I don't know. We might all be proved wrong, but so 15 more minutes I can trade. I can't see anything that I would have had a go at Here, really. It is a little bit sideways, that. So nothing there. I'm not sure where this is going to push up. Hey, buddy, how you doing? So did you forget about the time change? I thought in the UK we usually go, I remember, see, I've been trading now for 4 years. I should have known this really, but I was pretty sure we go forward first. I know when we came back in October, I think we were 2 weeks, because I was trading early for 2 weeks, I think. So I had the impression we went forward early. But apparently not. I was watching Tom Hugard trade, and he mentioned something that made my ears prick up. So I googled it, and sure enough, 4 hours ahead. Behind, sorry. Okay, so leg with a break. Are we going to reject here? I will be careful of this, because this possibly kind of bottoming. That's interesting. Trouble is, if that works, Mac will mark that and he'll say it confirmed the trend line. But I generally don't take them. So let's see what happens. So I believe that Mac will mark that if it works. So we got a channel with a break, 2 pushes to a new high. Been doing really well. 15 to 20 winners in a row. Good on you, mate. And I lose 2 or 3 trays and double my risk to the NQ and blow my accounts. Yeah, we've all done that, bud. It's very, very hard to keep your self-control. It's very hard. I've struggled. I've had my fair share of struggle with it. Just to keep that, you know, it's almost like being a professional sportsman, isn't it? You constantly got to be on your game. Okay, so Mac will mark that, I think. It certainly worked for a scalp for Mac, and there is a lower high there. There's bound to be traders buying there, picking this bottom, so a failure here I don't think would be a bad idea. Having said that, if that is bottoming, that could be a way above this, so I would have to be careful here. I can't trade anyway because I didn't bring my 230. I usually set mine to before I can trade. What is the software you use to stop you doing that? It's called Guardian Angel Trader, bud. I'll show you. I can open it on one of my accounts. What is it? This here, I'll show you. So I've opened it on 50. Oh no, it's locked. I can't do it. They're all locked. But what it does, it enables me to set certain parameters. I can't show you at the moment because it's locked between those hours. But I can set parameters, so I can set trading times. I could set maximum losses, amount losses, maximum wins. So, you know, in the cold light of day where we're all calm before the days happen, you can set all these parameters. In other words, it's almost like it's easy to say and plan you're going on a diet when you've just stuffed a great big pizza down your stomach. It's easy, isn't it? You can make a plan. But when things starts to go wrong, that's when you slip off the wagon. So you set all those parameters. You can have timeouts in between losing trades. You can set maximum contract size, so it will not allow you to do that. And you can also set it so it won't even allow you to delete the software, so you physically can't do nothing. So it gives you that kind of fine line of protection. It's only available for NinjaTrader at the moment, so you would need to be using that. But it's a fantastic bit of software. And what it does is it forces you to get out of a habit. I think it's about £300 UK, 350, 340 euros, and about 399 dollars. But it's a great bit of software. It just gives you that protection just in case the worst happens. Yes, I do. It's a fantastic bit of software, mate. It really is. It will save your neck in times of need. That's it there, I think. Yeah, Guardian Angel Trader. It's a great bit of software. Unfortunately, there's no discounts or anything like that available in it. I think it's a straight. Let's find how much it is. Yeah, euros. So it works out about £300. But it's a fantastic bit of software. There is a video on here. Unfortunately, well, I say unfortunately, I don't want to make it in a negative way. I think he's Spanish, so it's kind of hard to grasp what he's talking about in some cases. But there's quite a lot of us got it now. So it's a great bit of software. So look into that, mate. But that will save you when things go wrong. Yeah, those are the all the. I can't trade now anyway at the moment. So you've got allowed instrument, allowed. See, I have my trading time, so I can't trade until 2 minutes after the market opens. Daily loss, daily profit, total trades, winning. See, I usually have position size 1 contract, so I can't change it. Losing trade, I set that to 2. There's losing timeouts. There's lock settings. So you literally, it protects you. If you have any trouble setting it up, just let me know and I'll talk you through it. But it will not allow you to trade if you set it. See, at the moment, if I buy or sell, I can't take a trade at the moment. It won't allow me because I don't have mine set till 2 minutes after the market. I can't even right click. It just takes away any orders. So it's fantastic. Natty had a good video on it. Yeah, he used it for a while and then stopped because there was a couple of little issues with it, but that was 7 or 8 months ago. But it's all been changed and updated by now. But it's great. So if you want one, see, I had it at 1 loss when I was trading 2 contracts, and I found that I was getting scared to take a trade because if I lost it, that would kill my trading for the day. So I halved my contract size and to allow me to take 2. But you can even put a little bit of flexibility in there of so say 1 loss a day with a little bit of flexibility of $50 just in case you get out for break even. It won't stop you trading. So there's loads of little settings, but it's fantastic, mate. If you have any trouble setting it up, just I'll talk you through it. I did start a Facebook group as well. There's not much chit chat at the moment, but the odd comment does get answered. So, but I thought it was useful just in case someone doesn't know how to use it because it can be a bit tricky. Just a little bit when you first get the hang of it. Jan, how you doing, my friend? Did you know about the hour change? I knew nothing about it, to be honest with you. Could have eval, PAs, and personal accounts. Correct. Everything. So you could set, because you can set it so everything is exactly the same. Or you could have it so some of the evals you could trade maybe an extra contract, maybe an extra loss, and then your PA accounts you can add a little bit more protective. Yeah, you can do them so they trade exactly the same way, or you can individualize them. Based on whether you want to trade your evaluations. Slightly different. But yeah, it's £300. It is. Second entry short there. There may be a small overshoot there. Now, sometimes these overshoots make all the difference, so I would avoid this at the moment. Absolutely game-changing software. But the beauty is you can't go, it won't let you change it. Once you've set it, you allow maybe a period of time where you can make any adjustments to it. So I usually allow myself from 1 to 1:30 UK time before the market opens, and then it's locked till the following day. So if something goes wrong, I can't do it. I can't do anything. I can't even delete the software. It won't even allow you to get into the settings to delete it. It's fantastic. Change extra hour. The US have jumped forward to their summer hours. So they're 4 hours behind at the moment. So I didn't realise until about 2 o'clock. So yeah, it's 4 hours. Yeah, I missed it as well. I was pretty sure that we in the UK go forward first. Not the case. So 2 legs up, second entry short. I wouldn't take that because there's a possible overshoot there. And it looks to me like it's going to stop that bar out. In fact, I'll be shocked if it doesn't. Yeah, it's going to. Yeah. So small overshoot. Now, if you add that like that, you've got to be careful about constantly adjusting it because ordinarily that wouldn't be a bad looking trade. But if you keep it tight here, there's a small overshoot there. And if you get an overshoot, wisely avoid that next trade. So let's have a little look. We've got some, well, Trump speaking tonight. That's later. That's not going to affect us. Yeah, I was surprised it was never mentioned. Usually people will mention it. But I was completely unaware of it. I was watching Tom Hugard trade and he mentioned something about it. So channel up, 2 attempts to push lower. Is this pushing up now? It's still bearish at the moment, isn't it? We had that gap down. Rodian, how you doing, my friend? Long time no speak to. How you keeping? I've spoke to you for ages. Looks like the trading has been going well. Nice payouts. Absolutely, it's been a good start to the year, actually. Something just kind of clicked over Christmas. And I just started playing the game properly, and so far, touch wood. So my thing, I was just trying to rush, kind of grow too quick, taking just silly risks and not accepting the losses. Back in the UK and back in action. Good on you, mate. Yeah, I didn't realise. I think a few of us got caught out with the time jump. So now I could take that up there and that would be okay, and then that would be a break. But just at the moment, I'm going to leave it like that. Having said that, a break like that and then straight down doesn't often happen with a channel like that, so I will be inclined to do that. I wouldn't expect a small break and then come straight down, so that tells me that probably isn't an overshoot. But that is, so maybe we get a leg and a leg. So 3 minutes, I can trade See if I right click there, it doesn't even give me the option to buy. They're all greyed out or faded out. Yeah, Thomas Wade's just done that. He's just extended his. I wouldn't expect a tiny break then straight down. So that does look like a break, but I'll be surprised if that comes straight down. But there is a possibility that we may be going a little bit sideways here. But I'd expect a leg and a leg. So I'm going to put that there because that's kind of what I would expect. But it's not a huge channel down in all fairness, but it's big enough to not have a tiny break in that. At least that ATR's coming down a little bit. 130 for me. Time for bed. Yeah, I'm not surprised. So remind me, you're New Zealand or Australia, aren't you? You're one of them. Do you have the time? Does the time change there or not? I know not everyone has daylight savings, do they? So, leg and a leg. I'd expect a push up here and out of this area here. They've scrapped it in Argentina. Yeah, we have the time change. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I think ours is at the end. I think it's the last Sunday of the month in the UK. Be 11th. Yeah, I mean that's late for you, isn't it? Okay, so I'd still expect that to push a bit higher, a leg and a leg. Really, I wouldn't expect to break then straight down, but we've made a match in low. So 30 seconds and I can trade. Just make sure everything as it is, as it should be. 12 and 12, one contract. 12 and 12, yes. In fact, isn't rollover soon? So I would expect to push up there, take out that stop there, around about here for a push down, but maybe it doesn't. Quanto tempo delay YouTube. I'm assuming that's Spanish, isn't it? You might have to help me out. That my Spanish isn't what it used to be. But I'm guessing you're saying something about my YouTube channel was supposed to start now. The US has skipped forward an hour for daylight savings, so I had mine set to normal time. So I'm guessing that's what you're saying. Karine, you might have to help me out here. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. One of them I'm not trading. One contract. Excellent.
Order cancelled.
Okay, so break to pushes to a new low. That's if it is a break. So it's a shame I couldn't trade there because I'd have had a go at that lower high. We got two legs up, clearly bounced there, and then we got a lower high. So I think that was worth the trade, unfortunately, because I had my set to the time zone. I couldn't take it, so. So, leg down with a correction. I think there's a good chance we get down for this second leg. We've had a break here, 2 pushes. This thing isn't showing me any signs that it's going to start to move up. So, you know, it's quite a small break, that, and then straight down. So usually when it does that, I'd say it's probably because there is a larger channel. Which there could be. Let's just leave it as it was and then see if this thing continues down, and then I'll adjust it. Don't know what anybody else has got. Is anybody else looking at possibly slightly bigger channel down? I can't see anything on downs. Okay, so Thomas Wade has got. Thomas Wade has got that, which doesn't actually look that bad, I don't think. Because that, to me, such a small break and then straight down is telling me it's not really a break. It's just a larger channel. So I'm going to kill that colour. I think that's okay. We're clearly still on our way down. I can't see anything that might change that. Anybody else got anything there? Thanks for all the good work you do for us. Much appreciated. Wondering if we could fix Ninja Trader without deleting and downloading again. I can't log in. Flashing Ninja Trader logo. That does happen from time to time. Yeah, just now and again it will happen. I don't quite know why. I certainly wouldn't be thinking about deleting it and reinstalling it. Don't do that, because you've probably got add-ons. I suppose the only thing you could do maybe is try shutting your PC down and rebooting it and see if that helps. Anybody got any feedback on that? I know what you're saying. It just flashes the end, doesn't it? And just doesn't open. I've had that issues before. In fact, I think a few of us have. And I think that's usually down to Ninja Trader itself, if I remember rightly. What you can do is just message Ninja Trader. They get back pretty quick, actually. Just go onto the website and then message them, say what happened, and they'll put you right. Sometimes if you go into the settings and they'll say delete a file or a folder, and that works, but it doesn't affect any of your settings. So anybody got any ideas? Possibly. Let's have a look here. Yeah, it is annoying, isn't it, when you're all ready to go and something stops you. It's frustrating. Yeah, I mean, what I would probably first do is just reboot your PC, see if it helps, and if no one else comes out with any ideas, just drop them a quick message. They're usually quick at getting back, and they'll always sort you out. So, a little channel there with a break. So let's just have a look at this. Quite a steep channel. This is a little bit less dramatic, isn't it? But it is a channel with what looks like a correction and then starting again. So for me, I think there's a good chance we get down here at some point. So I'm only looking for shorts today. Well, certainly at the moment. So channel in the way of 2 legs with a break. Let's see where this goes. We may have already had a break, actually. Just looking on this chart, which is slightly different channel. Maybe not, actually. I think we're probably going to come down here, but unfortunately, because of this channel, I've got to wait for it to play out, but it does look like we're getting 2 legs down. Maybe we'll push up. All the drinks and food. Have you got any idea what I actually drink? You know I'm a single malt man. I hope you got deep pockets. I would. I got no problem with that. Absolutely. I would, definitely. Especially if you provide the food and the drink. Absolutely. I'll never turn down a free feed. Some free drinks. Yeah, if you want to set something up, mate, if you can get a few, even if we can get half a dozen of us or something, absolutely. Single malt, please. Yeah, absolutely. I'm a massive single malt fan, probably too big a single malt fan. It's kind of like my little training companion sometimes. I'm halfway through the bottle of a 10-year-old Lafroig at the moment. My wife wants to visit the UK, so I can time the trip to meet her. That'd be great to do something like that. It would. First pair on my flat. So there is kind of some trap balls there, but just at the moment, there's nothing I can really do here. I wouldn't want to be in that long, but it is congested at the moment, so we could have another attempt to push higher. But I would say that's going to get stopped out at some point. I would absolutely do it, mate. If you want to arrange something and then get some of us to say definitely yeah, we'll do it. God, I haven't been down to London for donkey's years. We could all get matching tattoos, couldn't we? We could all get pats across here. And you want a tattoo? We'll all get pats across. Well, maybe not you, Karina. You probably get it on your arm or on your wrist or something. Mind you, tattoos cost a fortune nowadays. In fact, I've got a friend who's got like a full bodysuit from the neck down. I hate to think how much he spent on that. Okay, so that did work. I see that getting stopped out. Trouble is, it's a bit congested there, so you could get caught out. But it did work nonetheless. Didn't look any better on my other chart, really. I mean, this is proper bearish, isn't it, really? So we gapped down and we've dropped 100 points. Yeah, if you've got money invested in this, in the way of whether it's a pension or something like that, mind you, these things always recover. What part of London are you, bud? I haven't been to London for donkey's years. It's got to have been 15 years since I was in London last. Oh, tell a lie. Yeah, I suppose it was. Greenwich. I was in Greenwich for a while. We went and visited a friend of mine's dad, who, in fact, used to work for the Spencer family. He was an ex-military guy, and he was something to do with security. He's retired now, but yeah, I think that was the last time I was in there, in London, Greenwich, a few years ago. There's got to be a way of looking at this. This thing's coming down, isn't it? I don't think that looks terrible. It is working along that midline. Did you change the market open time? Confused. Well, apparently, I say apparently, the US moved forward an hour for daylight savings. I was unaware, so I, put my stream at 2:30 normally and planned to turn up at 2:30. But I was at my desk anyway, and I was just watching Tom Hugard, and I just wondered. He mentioned something. I just wondered why we'd had a lot of overnight volume. So yeah, so I came on, I think about 2:05 UK time. So, but yeah, now I know tomorrow will be fine. In fact, I'm surprised we're not rolling over yet. Surely it's got to be this week, isn't it? Or next week? Okay, so channel, maybe a small break, new high, drop. Ah, okay. This is Mac. Let me show you. Yeah, this channel here, Mac's got that, the bigger channel, so that's good news. He's got that with a break, and some sideways here, leg and a leg. So, yeah, that makes sense. Loughton, Essex inside the... Okay, yeah, got you. What's that, North London area, is it? Loughton, I can't think now. I'm sure Essex is North London way, is it? I used to go to an Only... Well, I say I used to a long time ago. Oh, North East is it? I went to an Only Fools and Horses convention in Ongarth, if you know that area. A few years ago now. 20. Yeah, okay. The fact you tattoo guys make a fortune, don't you? Why are you wasting your time trading? So you guys make a fortune, don't you? What do you got to make? £100 an hour? You've got to, haven't you? Mind you, obviously got a shop, I suppose, and materials, haven't you? Yeah, I'm going to say it's great money, that, isn't it? And being a tattoo artist. I don't think they've ever been more popular now. Obviously, you've got all women as well. I mean, obviously, years ago, it was just guys, wasn't it? But I suppose the last sort of 5 to 10 years, they've become a lot more popular again. In fact, I'd say there's probably more women over the age of 18 with them than haven't got them, I would have said. Actually, not to, yeah. The old... See, old women in about 50 years are all going to look weird, aren't they? They're all going to have big blown up lips and tattoos everywhere. Yeah, the older generation are going to look very different in years to come. You have 5, do you? Yeah, I've got a couple. I'd say there's probably more women with them than haven't got them nowadays. It's getting a bit hard to trade this. Sexy, and I like tattooed guys. Yeah, my brother's got them. He's got ones down his arms, sort of coming from his shoulders. In fact, I know a guy who was a tattoo artist, actually. As I say, he's covered from head to toe, well, from neck to ankles, I think he has. A lot of Chinese type stuff, I think. Japanese or Chinese, Japanese type stuff, I think. Set up overnight. Yeah, it took about 3, actually, mate. One of them was there. That one there, for me, we had a channel down. We had it down there at the time. We had 2 clear legs up, and I liked the fact that there was a higher low there. I was going to trap, so I took one there. And I've started taking, just on this one account, just looking for trap traders. We had 2 legs down, and I was expecting another leg up, so I can't remember whether I jumped in here expecting to get that stopped out, and it did. Yeah, I think it was. I know we got a gap there, but market tends to sort of do one thing with an open and then push up. But I did trade one on the NQ. I can't remember where it was now. It can be hard to trade this because if you can't find some kind of a top to follow, you could get in a bit too early. Yeah, that was one I took. Along there, we had that big 2 legs down. For me, there's going to be traders trapped there for sure, but that is way far from the EMA, so I just went long and took some points there. Not a lot. You don't need to take a lot there. But yeah, we had that big drop with a break, new low, push up sideways. For me, it was going to work its way back to that EMA, and I wouldn't have wanted to be in them shorts. Now, it is a riskier trade, but I did it just on the one account. But I'm getting a bit of success at that, just looking where trap traders are, just thinking, where wouldn't I like to be in? And it seems to work. Well, it did up until I lost 3 accounts. But I tend to do it with a newer account just to get a little bit of traction. I'm just going to take a quick bathroom break. I'll be okay. So I'll look a bit dark for a minute. Let's have a look. So I think that's likely. That's where my target is. Trouble is, it's finding a way in. We push up and then we just drop. Same again, we push up and we drop. We had that one. Trouble is, it's that congested there. You don't know whether it's going to trigger you and have another leg up. Without finding some sort of a hard top, you never quite know where it's going to go. Now, Max got that, which has kind of given us a lid on the top of it, but unless we get up to it, it's finding somewhere. So all I'm kind of doing is looking for where I think there's maybe some longs trapped and seeing if I can capitalize on them. Yeah, just looking at Thomas Wade's. He kind of hasn't got anything either. He's got that top, but someone else has got something like that. I've had a look at that, But if you get it wrong, it can cause you some problems. Just wondering whether maybe that's an option. That doesn't look terrible. It's hard to explain. Yeah, it is. It's not easy, is it? I mean, if we've got a nice fitting channel, every time we come up here, we look for a signal bar, but it's not the nicest. Oh, it's not the nicest looking channel there. I don't like that quick move. I mean, Mac's got this larger channel, but you never quite know whether it's going to attempt to push up there. So that bearish bar there is triggered, and it's moving up. And that ATR is still a little high. I mean, it did work, but there's no guarantees there, see? I suppose you could argue there's an overshoot, maybe. You've still got to be careful. I don't like the way that strongly moved up. I like two legs. I can see two clear kind of moves. This is trying to push out. Oh, there we go. So that ate up some stops there. I guarantee there'll be some shorts there. And as it broke above there, it shot up, I don't know, a few points or somewhere along those lines. So as it at that area there, yeah, it went up a few points quickly. So that's why it's the trouble is we pushed up there. There's no real signal there, and then we just drop. We pushed up there, maybe an overshoot. We have got a signal bar then, but it triggers, comes down a couple of points, and then turns up. So, you know, although we know price is coming down at the moment, it's still not the easiest place to short. You've only got to make one mistake, and that can change your whole mindset. Took that second entry short, that one there. What did you get out of it? 6 ticks. Yeah. I looked at it. I'm glad I didn't take it personally, because it wouldn't have made my 3 points, I don't think. No. Let's say there. No, not a chance. So you'd have got 2 points out of that, and I think it'd a squeeze. Not that one, the one above. Oh, that one there. Yeah, I mean, you've got a bullish bar there, and it triggers. There's a good chance we come back, isn't there? So, yeah. But then we come back and push up some more, so that makes me nervous about where this thing's going. So then, most of the triple tests, yeah, it kind of was really, wasn't it? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, if you're going for 6 ticks, it's a lot easier to be able to trade those a bit safer. What did it come for? See, I'd have expected that just to drop below there, so yeah, plenty of points there, really. It does look like a small break there. Trouble is, when there's no, I mean, we can clearly see it's coming down. When there's no kind of channel to follow, you never know what part of this bigger downtrend it's going to sort of, you know, start rejecting from. Also took a long fairly some done, you lucky devil. You got to start streaming, Jan, you really have. Our second entry short, that one there. Good on you, mate. Yeah, if you take that, there's a good chance we're going to stop out bars like that, really. Yeah, have a great time, mate. Have a great time. Have a great day. Trouble is, we are dropping here, but there's no kind of top that I can see where we're. I mean, that may be, but then the bottoms don't match. So channel break, new high. So there is a lower high there. Trouble is, look at the size of it. I'd like to think that is going to get stopped out. It's too far for that EMA personally to not get stopped out. But I don't want to get into a bar that big because it is sideways, and if this is the top of the channel, you never quite know when it's going to decide to push up. So it just makes trays like that slightly more riskier. I do think that's weak and it's going to get stopped out, but it may push up before it does come down. So not only that, you could say we've had a bounce there and another bounce. There is a second entry long there. If that triggers and comes down, that might take out some stops, but trouble is this going to have a go at pushing higher? Yeah, looks like it. So we got a break. See, this is the area you would expect it to probably start to move backwards if it was going to, or to move down. Trouble is, I can't get a channel that I'm confident with to short from, so just going to have to sit tight here. So I'm going to bring that over. We've had a break and a new high there, so there was a second entry long. I don't think it was the worst trade in the world. It was a small bar. We kind of bounced twice, but because the thing's so bearish, I just can't find, if I was scalping a point or something, then yeah, but going for 3 points, the only thing I'm thinking about is getting into shorts. So 1, 2, 3. I think there's a fair chance that's going to get stopped out unless this turns now. We have got this area up here which it could push up to, so yeah, it has done so. Okay, it's a bit rangier, so I think it's likely that gets stomped out unless it holds. I just think going long at the moment, certainly for me, for 3 points is risky. So that's going to get stopped out, I'm guessing, unless it holds. I'm sure it will do. 1 tick, it's bound to. It's easy money, that is floating in the middle. Yeah, so that's the next one. So let's see what happens now. See, there's always a possibility of something like this. It's a lower high there. It's tempting, that. But this thing is still, with the except, well, we closed once there, but we're still trying to, keeping relatively strong above that EMA. So going short just yet is just too risky. This thing could flush down quickly, or it could go higher. Yeah, it is. Absolutely. Yeah, it does make you wonder how much further can this thing go down before we have a massive bullish day. But the trouble is, with all these things like these tariffs looming and this uncertainty in Ukraine, I don't know, people are nervous about, buying this thing. I mean, if you look at that daily, it's the biggest drop we've had for a long while. But you never know when this thing may, as you say, just decide to take off. High or low there, likely going to break above that. Trouble is, how much, how high is it going to go? We're in 19 ticks, 20 ticks, it hasn't finished yet, so going long here. How much higher is it going to go? Are we going to nick this area and then sellers are going to come back in? It's hard to trade this stuff. It's just chopping. There is a slight, obviously, upward feel to it, but big bearish bar there. 24 ticks straight down, finished on its low, and all of a sudden we trigger it and we're moving up again. Overnight gap is going to get filled. Knowing this market, the way things are at the moment, it could be weeks. You never know. It had a go of it there, didn't it? But it couldn't do it. It's just, you never quite know, do you? It was made up of about 3, I think, Bud. That was one of them. And 2 around the open there. I like that because we clearly had a leg and a leg up. Big bearish bar, pushed down the EMA. Bullish bar, triggered, came down. For me, that was going to get stopped all day long. And then I think I did 1 NQ and 1 ES around the open. Just trying to, target areas where I think traders are trapped and just go in for their stops as my profits. Okay, so there's going to be some stops there. I thought that may get down there. It didn't. Is this? I had a Gene Hackman night last night put on Runaway Jewelry. What a great film that is. Sad, really, isn't it? 95. His wife died apparently a week before he did, but he couldn't alert anybody because of his condition. That's sad, isn't it? Really. Spike and channel already had a 3rd touch. Where have you gone from further up? Have you? It's hard to say at the moment. See, Max got that. You gone from up here somewhere? Take it you gone from there, have you? Somewhere around about there. Yeah, it's so hard to say, isn't it? Exactly where I started. Oh, up there, was it? Up here somewhere. Top of the wick. Right here. We're going right there. Did you say a spike and channel? I'm guessing you mean there, did you? Trouble is you're missing all this, aren't you? Oh, my current spike. I got you. Oh, I see. So you've gone right to the top. I got you. Okay. Yeah, I'm good with that. Yeah, surprising how much of a difference that's made now, actually. But look at that, all of a sudden, woof. And now that's starting to make a bit more sense. Yeah, it's all right. I was looking at Thomas Wade's and he had it there, but actually that makes sense where it's just rejected from. That's where you kind of expect it to happen, wouldn't you? And now look at that, 3 big bars down. We're down 12 points, 12 to 15 points straight down. Unfortunately, though, there's just no way in. It's just chop, 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 drop, which is frustrating, isn't it? From a Pat's point of view, a lot of traders may just have orders here for obvious reasons. Makes sense. Put an order here, put a stop down here, and pick up your profit down here somewhere. But we wait for a signal bar, and unfortunately, that does make trades few and far between at the moment. Trouble is, as we've rejected off that, there's going to be a lack of buyers, isn't there? Sometimes that just comes down. Developing 2 buttons for NinjaTrader buy and sell, so you can more easily place orders. Does not matter if it's high and above price. Interesting. I did use that one-click trader for a while. I had it here. Trouble is, I clicked a buy button or a sell button by accident once. I like the fact that they're up here out the way, but it would be nice to be able to say, drop let's say a limit order. So if I put a limit order, it'd be nice to have a button just to say, I want to drop a limit order right where price is now, rather than having to, right click it and do it that way. Because we've got a buy market and, buy and sell current market. It'd be nice to have a buy limit order right where it is now. That way, if it does sort of push, at least I'm in, maybe come back or something like that. So we're right up here again. Now, the trouble is we didn't get very far there, so my concern is we push up. See, big bearish bar there, but I just don't trust it, unfortunately. You could argue there's a small break. I think it's negligible, to be honest with you. Fits there. So I wouldn't consider this a break just yet. With such a big move down, we'd have to have a leg and a leg. And I'm hoping we don't get it, really. The bigger these channels down, the more it decides to go the scenic route before it eventually moves down, and makes it a lot harder to trade a break out of trade a new extreme out of a break. There is a second entry short there, but I think it's risky. It's at the lower high. Yeah, I'm just not sure about this. Something about it I'm not super comfortable with. If I look on my other chart, we pushed down and pushed up strong, and we're doing the same again. And it's just worrying me. It certainly is, mate. It's just hard to trade that. You can get yourself... The trouble is, yeah, I looked at it. I prefer it to tick above. Just because how things are at the moment, I prefer the lower high. But at the moment, so far, it's going a bit sideways, which would worry me. Now, if you're going for a small amount, it might not be that bad. But at the moment... it's certainly got more chance of coming down, but I don't know all this. This is just... It just mixes your confidence up a little bit, doesn't it? And you tend to, hold on a bit. I think you're always much better if there's something doesn't feel right about it, and it will mean you take less trades. But my experience is less trades, more wins, more profit. And sometimes it is. I used to find it near damn impossible to walk away from a trade. Does not bother me in the slightest now. I'm kind of lucky there. I've got no urgency to get in. Now, it may work. It probably will. But there's just something about this picture I don't like. It's choppy there. We've got a leg up with some sideways. We've had a break out the bottom and strongly pushed up, which tells me, are we going to have a leg and a leg now? Is this thing going to finally break? I have a feeling it will. Which is why I'm not getting into a short at the moment. My gut instinct is telling me we could push up here because we've tried to push down and we reversed instantly. So I think a break, a leg and a leg from this channel down. So, unless we get something that looks like it may be trapping traders, then that, I may look at it a bit differently. But we've pushed up, we've gone sideways. Often it's a mirror image will do that thing. But you can bet there's going to be stops there, possibly some over there. So if it does get a bit above there, I wouldn't be surprised if it gets close to that measured leg. It might completely do the opposite. But there's just something about this which is just making me feel uneasy. And that's one of the good things when you get a little bit of experience, something just doesn't feel right, and it's using that gut feeling because you've been in this situation before and you got caught out. Now look at this, all of a sudden, 2 strong bars, and we're right near them stops there. You can bet there's going to be trader stops there. And I think really when you get that feeling, you're always best to listen to it. So that's taken that out. And it'll just save you. Save you getting caught out. If something doesn't feel right, listen to that feeling. It really does help you. I think this will have a good push in a minute. Here we go. So hence push up sideways. The fact that we dropped and immediately recovered told me to be careful here. Now you would have made something out of it, but so yeah, you'd have got 3 points out of it comfortably. But it was the right decision for me because I was concerned that this was going to break, and it did. And that gave it away from me. That strong move down, sliced straight back through the EMA. So I must remember to change over my time frame so I can trade an hour early tomorrow. I can do it from 1 p.m. tomorrow, Sam. So, leg and a leg. I'm guessing it'll get us up here. Now, whether we go a little bit higher from that channel, I think we will make a new low. Certainly makes sense, but I wouldn't expect that and then straight down. Okay, excuse me just a second. Okay, leg and a leg. So it's broken above there. Let's see if that holds. Because I'm guessing 2 legs up, big bearish bar. There's likely going to be traders maybe trying to catch this second leg down. Just going to put that there. There is a second entry short there. May come down a bit, but I don't think it'll last long. We didn't hit that measured leg, so I'd expect that to get stopped out. Yeah. Okay. Measured move played out perfectly. Okay, so it's ticked above there. Now let's see what happens. See if we get a lower high here. That may interest me. That's what I'm looking at. Looks a bit better on my other chart. Still rather wait for a lower high. Expected that to get stopped out. That's off the bottom, so I'd expect that to get stopped out. But 16 ticks, 17, 18. I'm not brilliant at picking tops, so I'd rather wait for a lower high. That's a better indication. Unfortunately, sometimes you just don't get it. Trouble is, with such a big move down, a leg and a leg. We've got a fair idea it's coming down from that measured leg. Trouble is, with no signal bar, no lower high, it's, I don't know, maybe you'd have taken that one. For me, it was just a bit risky. It could have gone a touch higher. It's just one of those things. Sometimes you either have a go at it or you don't. And for me, I wanted a lower high, and sometimes you just don't get it, unfortunately. Yeah, it is risky. It depends if you play the numbers game. So for me, that's the type of trade that I would expect someone like Bart to go for. because he can take the losses and they don't seem to affect him. I'm still not a fan of him, but he can play the numbers game, in which case he'd have done well out of this. But I wouldn't expect this to come straight down. I'd expect a couple of attempts to go higher, so we may get in. But that was a nice correction. It was quite a nice, well-balanced one. It's frustrating. If you can find a setup, you could do well out of it. I mean, look at that. 20 points straight down. If you took that and you know, maybe targeting these areas, you could do really well out of that. I was very tempted. Do you know, strange enough, I usually take these corrections where I like them when we're moving up. Now, there's no difference between that and moving down, but for some reason it feels different. I don't quite know why. Perhaps I feel more comfortable taking longs and shorts. I don't know. Comment before I moved down started. I can't do my loaded. I agree with you. It was right at the top of a measured leg and a break. I kind of wanted to wait for a lower. If we got a lower high, I'd have had a go at that. That is one of those things, isn't it? Oh. Excuse me. I'd be surprised if this just comes straight down. Trouble is, it's so clear that as a correction, if this pushes down below that EMA, you like to think it's at least going to get down here, quite likely going to break that. So I think traders are just selling it because they kind of know where it's going to go. That's the only kind of way I can work out why sometimes it does just continue down. This is like that double width chart that I see whenever you get a bullish guy. It basically crosses over and comes down. So there's two there. I'm going to have to start taking them at some point because I see them a lot. I wasn't too focusing on that, but it's a double width bar. I think the only thing that probably put me off that is it is a little double width bar. It could come back to this side. Triple test on the 10K, was it? I haven't got that up today. Let's have a look. That's so bearish. Yeah. Yeah, the correction was clear, wasn't it? Clearly see it. I'm just hoping we get a pullback before we get down to the bottoms, because it'd be nice to get a way in. Come on, give us a pullback. As I say, I'd be surprised with such a big channel. If that's all we get, we come down. I'd like to see a couple of more attempts, maybe something like this. Can you see the head and shoulders pattern? Shoulder, head. I'd like to sort of push up to around about this area, and then give us another shoulder, and then with a second leg down. Whether it'll get that high or not, but somewhere around about there would be nice. Shoulder, head, shoulder, and then down for a second leg. Now that they don't always kind of fit perfectly symmetrical. That's a little bit lower, but if we can get two legs up here even. So there may have been a small break there and a new low, but that shouldn't make a difference. I'd just prefer a correction. Yeah, see on my other chart we haven't had a break there, so okay, if it's going to turn down, this is where I kind of expect it to happen. So we got a little channel there with a break, I would have suggested. It's tempting that. I'm going to wait for the lower high, I think. Oh, shoot. Okay, I've got to set up on my other chart. It's a big risk, though. Oh, it's a big risk. I'm getting out of it, I think, for a bit. Oh, I don't know. It's a big ass risk, this is.
Order filled.
Yeah, I'm getting out here. Something about this I don't like. What have I got out of it? 3/4 of a tick. Oh, it's a big risk. It's probably going to work. Sometimes it's just not worth the risk, though. I like the way it triggered above there, but these bars are just so big. It was just a big risk. $300 odd. Let me have a look. Bring it in a sec. Yeah. It's just such a big risk. It's like 5 3/4 points, just too much. I like the fact we got a break at a new high, a lower high. For me, I was more concerned about just getting out below there. But I don't know. Sometimes it's just, you just got to get in. Let me just disconnect and connect. It's showing that I've got 2 still open. I don't mind taking a bit out of it. I got 6 ticks. Sometimes you're better off just getting out of it if you're not sure. It's just like a $300 risk. Yeah, it's still worth taking, I think, isn't it? Let's see where we've gone. Have we gone down some more? Hopefully we have. It's just something about it I don't like. It looked good on the other chart. Let's see if we get a failure here. Got a channel break, new high, lower high. Kind of looks like a head and shoulders, but I think I made the right decision to get out of it, I think. We may get a second leg up there, see. My only concern is this, if it is kind of like a head and shoulders, it could come up a bit further. Or that may continue down. I just don't like what it's doing. see if we can get a limit order. I'm not getting in for that
Order
many ticks.
submitted.
It's very tempting. See if we can get a limit order. You're going to have stops there. Are you going to have anywhere else? Something about this I don't like. I'd prefer a leg up, 2 legs back, and another leg up. I'm staying out of this.
Order cancelled.
I have a concern that this is going to push up a little bit more. It may not, but we may get this, and that's what's concerning me. A second leg up. I prefer a little bit more than just that and straight down to test these lows. So I wouldn't be surprised if we had another leg up. It may not, it may come down, but can't see there's much liquidity down here. Hence, there's going to be some there and there, which is below this line. So you would think if you were going to sell here, this would be the area to do it. I mean, it's coming down, so it's irrelevant really anyway, but I just have a concern that, you know, we've tested this area, we've pushed through it, we've had one push up. It's working anyway, so it's fine. Marco took that one. I think it was okay. Trouble is, after that one spooked me. I mean, it did work anyway. Isn't there in there? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The trouble is, we have that channel down. Now, you may argue there's a small break. There isn't on my other chart, so I've got no issues with that. We've had one straight push up with a break. My concern is we come up and touch this again, make 2 clear attempts before we push down, because we've had such a big channel down. To have a small break like that in the grand scheme of things and then just come leg and leg straight down doesn't happen as often. Now it is a pretty bearish day, so maybe this is quite clear, but I would prefer more of a correction than just that and straight down. You know, when you get a feeling, and you know, like Mac talks about, it's experience. The longer you sit down here and you get a feel for stuff, and you have to listen to that feeling really, because it is the experience that tells you those little bits of do I or don't I. Now, there's probably an element of emotions in there. Do I want to lose a trade? Is it a Friday? Am I close to payments? They all make a difference, but my accounts are comfortable and I'm relatively relaxed at the moment. But after such a strong move down, a correction with strong move down, I would prefer a good couple of attempts really to push higher before it eventually moves down. But, you know, that's quite significant. And as I say, we're not necessarily fighting a battle. Is this an area to buy? Not really. After a break and 2 pushes down here, so maybe there's just, you know, maybe there's just not enough buyers in there really to push this higher at the moment for a second attempt. You know, as I say, it's such a bearish market, but there we go. I mean, we could still get another attempt here. We're still quite a bit off the lows to here. We're still, what, 7-8 points away. This just concerns me with all this. It's just a little bit choppy for me, and it was a big bar. And after I'm sort of out of that one, you just don't know. It is a little bit stacked up. What size was it? Wasn't it like about 14 ticks or something like that? Yes, a lot more than that. So let's say we go there for argument's sake. It's 5.25 point risk. 5.25 point is just not worth it. Do I think it's likely going to come down? Yeah, I do. But I am concerned that after such a big move down, just to have that, a little break and then straight down for a second leg, for me, it'll make another attempt, or I'd like to see another attempt before I take something that's a little bit congested and a rather large bar. If we'd have finished up here, it wasn't as congested, the bar was smaller, I'd have taken it. So, I mean, the thing is, like you say, on all my accounts, it's $1,800 just on those. That's the beauty of having multiple accounts. I mean, if you did that, well, every day, 5 7's 35, that's $350. It's $1,500 a month, even if you lose a third of that. You don't need to do a lot to make it, you know, nicely grow. Still $32,000. There's my. You can't see my. I did take the thing away at the moment because I wanted to not have a pressure, but there's my accounts at the moment. So there's one, two. There's two over 3,000. These two are a trade away from getting above that $2,600. So if you count that, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We got 10, $2,000 above, and the other ones are slowly closing. So they're all growing nice. I'm trying not to look at the. I have the amount sort of blocked. It does take longer trading them carefully, but they soon mount up. As I say, if you got, you know, even if you can average $250 a week, which is not difficult at all, it's $1,000 a month. You got 17 accounts. That's 17,000. That's a huge amount of money. It's over $200,000 a year. And if you can make that comfortably, then you could start using some of those profits to build your own account and just continue to grow. Let's see if we make this second leg up before we push down. I'll be surprised if we don't. Okay, I'm just going to take a quick 5-minute break. Just going to make myself a drink. And I'll come back. I mean, it is pretty bearish, so it may just come down, but I'd like to see that second leg first. So everything's closed. So I'll be around about 3 to 5 minutes and I'll be back. Okay. I thought I'd scrub the cup of tea. And I got a Lafroig. I thought I'd have a single malt. How many jobs can you drink at work? Win-win. Oh. Right, what's going on here? Trouble is, it is slowly working down, but having said that, normally when you get a break, I'd expect it to go around the mountain first before it pushes down. Having said that, it's a nice correction. So perhaps that's why it's come down, and we had that strong move down. Yeah, see, if I had the confidence just to leave these sometimes and wait for the lows, look at the potential for... I mean, I got out, what, for 6 ticks, didn't I? Once I get that pullback, what I should have done in hindsight is put me stop there. So that's more or less break even, well, -1 maybe, and maybe rode it down. I don't know. So it doesn't look like we're going to get that second leg. We may do. I'll put it back if it does go up, but see that double width channel, bullish bar, finished on its high, crossed over, came straight down. That one would have worked. What I might start doing is trading one single account on that strategy. Double width bar, clearly came down, bullish bar, finishing on its high or close to its high, crossed straight over, went up a tick, dropped straight down. Has there been any more of those today? There's one there. Double width channel. 2-point risk, 2-point profit. If I shorted that there, that might not have worked actually. 2-point risk. If I shorted it on the close, yeah, it did. 2-point risk, 2-point profit. That easily works. So there's one there. So that one worked. One there. That worked. I wouldn't consider that one because we've had a break. So it does work. Nothing here. Possibly. That one worked beautifully. That was a really nice looking one. Mind you, would I have considered that an overshoot? Trouble is, it's starting to stack up a little now. We've had a channel with a break. Clearly made a new low. Would I want to go short this close to the bottom? We'll see. I would really expect a little bit of a break of this now. Just something tells me, mind you, look at that. Can't deny that, can you? Do I really want to get in a trade for 16 ticks that close to the lows? Mental outlook is good. I think it's probably a lot to do with tariffs. It's creating a lot of uncertainty. It's affected all the markets. So trouble is, if these tariffs, I think they're already implemented to a degree, aren't they? Or they've been paused. It's going to affect people, the general population, isn't it? You're going to be paying more for stuff, and if Canada retaliate, is that going to affect your oil price? I don't know. I don't know all the economics of it all, but it's definitely creates some uncertainty. So I'm assuming it's probably because of that. It's surprising how many things. I dare say the stuff in Ukraine is probably not helping US pulling out of, military aid temporarily. Whether it's temporarily or not, I don't know. So there's just mixed feelings, I think, and that's the only conclusion I can come to. I'm picking up on the news as well. I tend to watch a little bit more US news now, Bloomberg type of stuff, just to get an idea of how it's affecting the markets. Just out of curiosity, really, than anything. So, if this is the bottom of the channel, if this is a channel, we're coming away a little bit here. And as I say, leg down and straight down, I'd expect a little bit more messing around, really, to break these lows. But perhaps after the correction, that's pretty bearish, and the rest is just a formality. But I wouldn't be... it's very wicky at the moment. So I'd just be super careful here at the moment. Even if we get a leg and then a leg, I do expect it to go down. But it's just catching a good entry. But we're coming away here, so that tells me we're probably going to have a break, which we have. So... I'm going to put that there. That might be a nice place to bounce. 2 legs up, triple test, down for a second leg and new lows, measured move made. Marco put a pretty interesting article up on Dan's Discord about an hour ago about the markets. Bear trend will continue. Well, it's funny you should say that, Jay. I heard I can't remember what I was watching on, whether it was on YouTube or not, but they were talking to a professional investor, someone who'd been investing for years. And he said their general thought process was the S&P 500, specifically talking about that, was overpriced by about 30%. So he thinks it would be in line for a 15% correction, and that should make... well, I don't know what I'm saying, actually. That should make I don't know what I'm saying. But funnily enough, I think we're down about 8.5% to 9%, something like that, from all-time highs. So it kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Because if you look at the daily going back, so I don't know, is all this stuff that Trump's doing some kind of an economic genius's move? I don't really know. You tend to think with some of the decisions he's making, it's taking a hit on everything. Is that a good thing in the long run? I don't know. I don't know much about economics, to be fair. But you like to tend to think that Trump's not as stupid as sometimes he comes over. But I mean, we've been so bullish. I mean, this is only going back a little bit, but this thing was been pushing up. So it's hard to say. Let me see if I can find it. He seems to be doing some odd things, and it does make you wonder that there must be some kind of an end game. Okay, so we've pushed up and bounced there. I'd like a triple test there, I would. I won't just take that. I'm just flicking through just to see if I can see anything. When was it? When did he put it? About an hour ago. Does it give us times? It does. 340. Oh, I've got to go back a bit yet. If I just click on Marco, will it show me now? It won't, will it? Is that what you're on about, is it? That's it. If I freeze that a sec, that way you can pause the video, pause the stream later and have a look. And there's the address. In fact, can I actually copy link? I think I can post it here. Let me see. Yeah, there you go. Happy days. I can post a link on here, but you guys can't for some reason. I don't quite know why. So there you go. There's the link. How's that for you? Service with a smile. Okay, so we got this channel down there with a break and then a straight drop. Unfortunately, there's no real second entry there. It is kind of 2 legs up, but I'd have preferred a third. I'd have preferred a third leg up. You may get one. Oh, does it really? Okay. Let's get rid of it. Remove. Let me find it again and I'll just get a... topped out early, did it really? I'll tell you what, I'll just bring it in again. So, yeah, I've tried copying the link for some reason. I don't know why it won't copy link. Tell you what, let's just click copy text, see if that works. Nothing's coming out for some reason. Ah, too many, that's why. You only put 200. Copied message, link it. Oh, did I? Okay, yeah. You can see it now anyway, so at least you know where it is. There we go. Happy days. Try to copy the link. I did, it wouldn't work for some reason. Or did I copy tech? Copy link. Let's try it again. Where's paste? Sign hasn't worked. Let's try it again. Copy link. Paste. YouTube. That should do it. That should take you there. There we go. Should do. Okay, so that did work. So we had basically relatively quick 2 legs down. I was kind of looking for a head and shoulders. I think it was really. I'd have preferred a second leg up. If we can get a second leg up and a short or a lower higher, that's where I'd have preferred it. But we had a channel here with a break. We were coming away from the bottom at an angle, which usually leads to a break, which we had. We pushed up, crossed over, came straight down. No real entry. No second entry short, really. Unfortunately, no way in, but can you do? So I think there's still a fair chance this comes down to this measured leg. So my rally worked in the end, didn't it? I said I think we're likely to rally. Was it up to the 80s? I can't remember when it was now. Remember I said we got a rally. Let's have a look at the old video. I did say I think we're going to recover on this. Forget where it was now. What day was it? 2 days ago, was it? Was it really? Maybe. Oh yeah, there it is. Where was it? Forget me little arrow was now. It's over 800 anyway. Yeah, it was over 800. Yeah, it was up here. I think I had it, so we didn't get far off it. Okay, so I'm starting to take some of these corrections. Now that was a correction. Really side by side. There's a few of these I've spotted over the last 3 or 4 weeks that worked really well. I mean, that worked exceptionally well with the pullback and basically got down. But these are the types of trade that Gorilla used to take, the Gorilla trader. So if you'd have got in here on a trade and out for the bottoms, the potential there is for 30 points, which is brilliant. I mean, even if you're getting on that first one, would you really want to come back to 9 points? Maybe. Even if you follow it down to that next swing, and then once you get below here, 20 odd points. So the potential with those corrections are massive. For some reason, that was a correction, but because we were coming down, it didn't feel as natural as going up. I prefer when we go up, we have 2 legs back. I like to try to earmark those for a move up. But because it's coming down instead, it just kind of felt a bit odd. I don't quite know why. Because on my other chart, it looked nice. The bar was nice. That was it there. That was the bar there. Bar looked great. Can't remember what size it was. I don't think it was huge. It was probably close to 5 points. So, I don't know, maybe. Actually, you could have got in a bit cheaper than that. Maybe 4.5 points. In fact, to be honest with you, if you like that bar and you think that's the top of the correction, you could probably even get in here a little bit cheaper. Maybe somewhere around about there for a 3-point risk, $150 on my accounts, with the potential for 30 odd points. And it worked. The only issue is this pullback here. If the trouble is, if you go down that much and you pull back, that can affect your drawdown. I mean, there's 15 points there, depending on how many contracts, that can severely affect your drawdown. But if your drawdown's fixed at $2,100 and you're over 26 on your PA account, it doesn't matter when it comes in, 100 points comes back, take you out break even. It makes the difference. So, I mean, if you want to jump in there and then get out the bottom, there's 30 points there comfortably. That's the type of thing I watch for, because if you can get one of those a month and make 20, 30 points out of it, that's a huge amount, really. You know, if I go for 3 points and 2 trades a week will do me a nice income. That's 4 trades. That's 6 points a week. That's 24 points. You can get a move like that. You can make more than that, more than a month's worth of earnings there, technically. So, is this thing going to continue down? I would have said so. I wonder if we got something like that. Touch. Bit early, but it's certainly possible. My guerrilla method gave me 360-point shot. The DAX, brilliant. I'll tell you what, it was. I liked him. It's a shame he stopped streaming, actually, because I was chatting with a guy, actually, and he asked me if I wanted to join, and I said, yeah, I was thinking about it, and he said he'll join and let me know what it's like, and he joined, and then he had a message back saying that he was stopping streaming for a while, so he refunded his money, which was a shame, because those types of trades, those corrections were his bread and butter, and he'd have taken that, whether he'd have got stopped out down here somewhere, whether he'd have waited for that, he may have done. If that was a nice correction, he'd think he was getting there. He may have put up with that pullback, which I don't think is a terrible thing. I mean, if you jump in here, you've got no drawdown issues, and you get in here somewhere and, I don't know, maybe you give yourself 4 points and you've guaranteed it, and then see if you can survive that pullback. But I mean, look at that, down to the bottoms, 38 points. And this thing isn't necessarily over yet. So, there's potential if you can just get one of those right a month to make a month's worth of money. The last two I saw and I earmarked them and I put that measuring tool there. They both worked up to the highs. So that's sort of how these new ideas and trading methods and strategies come, just from seeing the market do the same thing again and again and deciding to pay attention to it. So there is a second entry short there. Well, it's kind of two legs, but because we made these lows, I'm staying out of any short here just at the moment till I figure out whether this thing's going to reverse now or have maybe a stronger pullback or correct or whatever. So, and rightly so, it wouldn't have worked. So once you start getting used to spending days in front of these markets, you start to notice things. And if you can get one of them right a month, you could dramatically change your income. So I can't really go short here because the markets are so oversold that at least a dead cat bounce. Yeah. So I put this there because it touches twice and it fits nice at the bottom now. Until we confirm it and push down again, there's nothing you can really do here because we've had a break from it and it's pushed down really beautifully. I mean, the market's actually, how it's, working when we have a break, it's kind of playing by the rules. We have two legs up, we have two legs down, we break the lows. So it's kind of doing what we like it to do, so it's a little bit clear. So can't really take a short here at the moment until we know what's going on. Wonder if there is something larger there. Why the market moves two legs? Why markets double top, double bottom? I don't really know. Well, market tends to move in twos because, as far as I know from Mac's teachings, is the market tries twice to do something. So traders, I'm assuming traders will try and push the market up a couple of times before they give up. So they'll, I suppose it's the same in life. We'll try something once, we'll give it a second go. If it's just not working, we might, sort of sit back, recover and rethink. So I'm assuming that's kind of why they do. But it's surprising if you read. Now, the legs, sometimes you'll get like a push move or push phase, as Thomas Wade, and then you'll get kind of a couple of attempts to do something else. So sometimes we get those moves, but it's not an exact science. But if you look at it, it's surprising. So we got two legs down. We got two legs up. Sometimes it's not perfect, two legs up. Sometimes legs are bigger than others. So we got there two legs up. Two legs up. It is surprising, even there, two legs up, we come down. As I say, it's not a perfect science. That's a bit more clearer. Two legs up, we got a leg down and a leg down. We got a leg up and a leg up. But if you can spot these, say for instance this, I think that was quite a good trade. Clearly two legs up. It pushes up there above this bar there and rejects down. So there's a fair chance it's going to come down and clear out these levels here. But at the time, I couldn't trade this because I'd screwed up me timings. But same again, two legs up there, and we come down again. Two legs down, two legs up. So it just gives you an idea. If we've had a leg, a break, and a leg, and we got a bearish bar and a downtrend, gives us a better idea of, how to trade, how to take our trades. So this is interesting. So I'm going to put that there, I think, for now, because that fits kind of nice. Because if we push out, it all fits nice into a two-tiered channel, so I like that. Now, channel down with a correction, two pushes down to a new low. Is this going to reverse? No idea. Trouble is, although it's coming down, it's doing a lot of this, and it can get you caught out. Now, looking at that trade, it looks nice now because we know it works, but at the time, if it triggered you and pushed up for a second leg, a leg up, two legs back, and a second leg up, you'll say, well, you shouldn't take that because we'd only had a leg up with a break. We're waiting for a new high. So sometimes things aren't super clear. It's a little bit congested there. That's not cut and dry to me. Now, if the bar was a bit less risk, it might be a better option. But I don't have to think or count so much now. I just like the look of something. I mean that there, it's clearly two legs up. It's technically a hidden, it's a second entry, but by the count it isn't. But you can clearly see it's two attempts, and then it came down some. It's a process whereby overall trader sentiment changes. It can be measured and charted. It's why the big investment firms pay for broker data. So basically, they try and do something a couple of times and then they lose confidence. Overall trader sentiment changes. If something's not working a couple of times, yeah. Trouble is, as a retail trader, when you've not had no proper formal training, you don't kind of know all the workings of how this works, just what you kind of pick up. I mean, Mac, when he started to trade, he never worked for any institutions or any banks, so he hasn't had any sort of formal training. I mean, if you go down the road of becoming a trader in a bank or some sort of institution, they understand the nuts and bolts and how all these things work. And then you get a wage, you get the support, you get all the training. As a retail trader, you're kind of learning with a lot of second-hand information, and you kind of just have to figure out as you go along, and you will have kind of gaps in your knowledge. But yeah, it kind of makes sense, doesn't it? If you got an heavy weight, you try and lift it once. Oh, that's heavy. Let's have another go. Doesn't work the second time. Usually you'll walk away. So we're really studying human behaviour, aren't we? So if human beings try something a couple of times and it doesn't work, they may give up. Nice name that is, Just a Potato. I should have come up with something way more cooler than the UK futures trader. It's the only thing I can think of. I used to watch the Canadian futures trader. That's how I come out with my name. But market shit. Yeah, that's really what we're studying, human behavior. You know, how do human beings feel when we've been up here for a second time? And it kind of makes sense if you watch human beings in a room. You kind of sort of start to figure out how they act, and it's all we're kind of doing, really. Obviously, there's a little bit of the technical side of it as well. But I thought a lot about the strategy I've chosen over the last few years. Sometimes I've had confidence in it, other times I haven't. But the more I do it, the more I realise I'm in exactly the right place. It's a great system. And price action really, for me, is almost like a head start. I know, a lot of traders who may trade certain levels. Well, levels don't always work. But, if you were trading a range from top to bottom and you shorted here, you may lose 3 or 4 times in a row. But that's not a major issue if you get that much risk and that much profit. But as a price action trader, I started watching what's that girl who does, I forget, Natanya Trades, who trades ICT, and I've seen her taking trades, and I've said to myself, she's going to get stopped out. I definitely wouldn't take her. We've clearly had 2 legs up. She's small pullback, she's going long, and she's got stopped out. So price action really, I think, can give you a big head start in trading. That's just how I feel about it. But when you watch other traders, trading other methods, it's surprising how you can see where they're going wrong. They may say exactly the same thing about a price action trader. You know what I mean? But I thought a lot about my system that I've learned and how I feel, how effective it is. And it certainly... it certainly takes a long time to learn it, but when you do learn it and well, it's surprising how well you can read these markets. It really is. So, channel down there with a break. So, where is this thing going? Is this just... It kind of looks like it's likely going to continue down. I have sort of looked to see if there's any type of a larger channel down. And that actually fits kind of nice. So maybe, who knows? Trouble is, unless you're trading in a certain direction and you need to know the direction, it's hard to get an entry. When did I get my first payout? It was a month after I started streaming. Was it a month or 2 months? So I'm guessing it would have been February. It would have been 2 years ago, basically. 2 years ago. So I've been trading. Max system would be for... when did I start? Start to lose track of it. I think it would be 4 years in May, June time. And I started learning to trade just before Christmas. So it would have been just over 4 years ago. So I was trading, the 6 months I did with currency, let's just forget I learned anything. I learned the basics, but I didn't really learn anything about trading. So let's say it took me nearly 2 years to get my first payment, just under 2 years. And if I'm perfectly honest, when I look at when I first started streaming, I did have a few lucky trades. But yeah, it took me 2 years, but it wasn't cut and dry after that. I ended up blowing the account, you tend to go through that phase, which I did probably over about 18, 20 months of doing well, making a couple of payments, blowing the account, getting frustrated, throwing money at it, taking stupid trades for a few months. Then you calm down, and then you know, it's kind of, you know, it's up and down and up and down. And I think it was probably the last couple of months of last year that I started just giving up the stupid stuff and just playing the game. And what I've found is your accounts grow slowly, more slowly than you'd like, but enough to make a really good living. You know, I still have my moments where I take something risky, but I don't do it on all my accounts. I tend to treat the majority of my accounts, all bar one, with kid gloves, and I'm a little bit careful about what I do. But the odd new one, yeah, I try a few things and that, but it does take time. Trading's a lot harder than people ever realise. I'll give you an example. I started trading. I've been trading a month, and I gave my job up. There you go. I put £5,000 of my own money in. Wife isn't listening. And that all went within a couple of months, if that. So, you know, if I can give any newer traders, be so careful how much money you throw at this. Change perspective or anything like that after you pay it. Not really. I thought I'd cracked it. I remember telling my mum at the time, I think she was still with us at the time, that I've made it as a trader. I'm going to make a fortune. Just because I got my first payout, I thought that was it. I'd nailed it. But trading, the easiest way to describe trading is it's like a journey that you have to go through, and it's a real tough journey of emotions. Now, it's been tough for me because I'm a bit stubborn and I think I know it all, and I was going to do it my way. And I had a rude awakening. I wasn't as smart as I thought I was. I wasn't as clever as I thought I was. And I thought the more money you throw at this, the more chance I've got of passing. And that's kind of the case. More money you throw at it, the more you will pass. You know, the more PAs you'll get. But you won't earn as much money as you think. You'll lose more money in the long term. So if I had a new trader come up to me and say, "Okay, I'm gonna learn Pats. How do you suggest I play it?" I would say spend at least 6 months just on a PA account and get a feel for it. I used to say 12 months, but I say 6 now because I think it's important to get that feeling of having a little bit of risk. And then only I would have one evaluation. I wouldn't even think about trying to pass it because you'll take stupid risks, you'll pass it, you'll pay your $125 and you'll just blow it and chuck away more money. So my honest opinion is I would get one evaluation. I would never ever get more than one evaluation, and trade that as well as you can and learn from your mistakes. And then when you can get it to PA organically and start to get a payment or two, that's the time to grow. Maybe add a couple more, but don't do what I did and just try and get 8, 10, 12 evaluations and copy trade them, and you'll just blow them all and chuck away a ton of money. Don't do that. One at a time is the way. When you start to make money, that's the time to grow. But they did a poll on the Matt's Facebook group 6 months ago. How long did it take people to make consistent money? And I think it was about 65% were between 4 and 6 years. So, you know, you can expect to take you that long. But I wouldn't feel bad about it. You can earn a huge amount of money trading, and any job where you can earn that sort of money is never going to be easy. Chart studies on yearly data, no. Because I'm a price action trader, I trade small moves. So the only thing that really data-wise I need to take is we got a channel with a break and a lower high. So I'm more of a technical trader rather than a fundamental trader. I don't look at how well something's performed. It doesn't matter to me personally. It's very tempting there. There is 2 legs up. The only issue I have is we've already made a new low, but this is pushed down considerably, so I'm just going to sit tight here. It really depends how you trade. 6 months sim, 1 eval, that's it. That's it, yeah. And what I wouldn't do as well is try and pass a PA account, because you'll take a ridiculous risk, you'll pass it, you'll pay $125 and you'll blow it. So the time to add to it is when you can get to PA organically. Oh, it's so tempting to go short there, but I'm going to leave it. I'm not sure what this price is doing, see. I was looking at those 2 legs up in this bearish bar, but we've already made a new low. So I'm not sure whether this is going to try and push up again. So I'm staying out of that. Not only that, it's 19 ticks. This is a little bit unclear. I'm really unsure whether this is going to come down. What I will say is you're going to have likely stops here and there, but you're going to have some here as well. So it may push up a little bit more. It's a bit unclear, this is. And I don't want to take a stupid risk. If we get a lower high or a failure, I may have a go at it. I just don't like on here as well. There is a lower high, but it wicked back. And this could just, it is 2 attempts to push up. So it may work, but it's so, you've got to be so careful. I know a lot of streamers and all that will try and encourage you to buy loads of evals and get a trade copy. Don't listen, it don't work. You'll just chuck away more money. It's just not worth it. It just makes your learning process a lot more painful the more money you lose. I'm lucky because I did have some affiliates, so that helped with the majority of my learning. But it would have crippled me financially if I'd have traded the same way and I didn't have that affiliate money to fall back on. Just looking at this to see, yeah, say this, it's a little bit unclear. The bit that's put me off jumping into a short here is we've had a correction and then 2 legs down to a new low and a strong move up. And then a strong move down. So I'm just a bit unclear whether this thing's coming up or down. Now, 2 legs is relatively clear, but I don't like the way both of those have wicked back. If I was a betting man, I'd say it's more likely to go down, but I could be completely wrong here because it's a bit unclear. And I'm also thinking about it, is there any buyers here that are caught? There isn't really. Which means it could just push up and clear out areas of liquidity. So, yeah, best off staying out here. Yeah, it's a good idea to stay out of this. 2 legs up. There is a lower high there. Bearish bar, channel down. Yeah, you've been stopped out already, see. So it does look like 2 legs. You know, the picture isn't, the setup isn't terrible. In a lot of cases that'd work. But the context is a bit, we've had this big channel down, a correction, 2 pushes to a new low. So you have to just stay out of this for a bit just to figure out what's going on. Because it can get you into trouble. And rightly so there. Ticked above by 1 tick. Now it may move down. It often does that. And that's a better bar to go short. But it is still stacked out and it's massive. So, my opinion, you've just got to leave that alone. Will it work? Probably. But if it doesn't, you get that wrong at 24 ticks. That's going to sting. We've pushed up. You could say we've bounced. So it may push up. 24 ticks, tick above, tick below. That's 26 ticks. That's 6.5 points. $650 times 17. Actually, I'm only at one contract, but it's still $300. It's too much. And look at that. Triggered it. Straight up. It's just chocker. It's unclear where this is going. The setup doesn't look terrible, but the context is telling us stay out because we've already... but look at that. Big bearish bar. If you got into there for 26 ticks, triggers you, push straight up, stopped you out. So whenever it goes like that, it's unclear. You've really got to leave alone. That could have crippled you, that. If you'd have been trading... If I'd have been trading 2 contracts on there, I'd have been down $650 times 17. That would have ruined my day. So it's hard to work out what's going on here at the moment. Still buying pressure in the M2. You'll have to update me, mate. I'm not sure what the M2. Are you talking about the 2 minute here? Yeah. The thing is, we've had this big move down, a nice correction, and 2 clear legs down to a new low. So it has played out this. So it could reverse now. So I don't think it knows what it wants to do at the moment. There's obviously a little bit of mixture going on. So this is just a bit unclear. Excuse me a sec. Okay. Come on. Come on. Come on. Up. Come on. Good lad. Good lad. Oh! 2 minutes. Yeah, I got you. So yeah, it's just a bit unclear. Is this going to try and push up? It's hard to say. I don't even think that is a channel, is it? Yeah, see, that all of a sudden looks pretty good. It's slightly congested, but I think it's readable, isn't it? The 1 minute seems to be better than the 2 minute. I'll take the 1 minute. Yeah, I suppose it makes sense, doesn't it? The more detail you got on here, the more noise you potentially got. So it's just hard to know what's going to happen now. It's still kind of got a bearish feel to it, but how long is that going to last? What I will say is I wouldn't want to be long in here. This may just... I mean, we've got a channel down here. That looks quite nice, and we have got a break. 1, 2, 3. You may consider that a triple test. It's quite bearish, and if it ends on its low, it probably will push below here because you're going to have some bulls trapped here, maybe here, some here. If it finishes on its low, I think it'll go down, but it's 25 ticks and it isn't finished yet. So you put a tick above that, tick below, and it just makes that risk so much bigger. And while I'm up a reasonable amount today, a comfortable amount, I don't want to do anything stupid. It's 25 ticks, tick below, tick below. If you get it wrong And you can do, because it is choppy. But you could say a triple test, so I think that will work to the lows. My gut feeling tells me it will, but I'm not prepared to risk that much because if I get it wrong, it's too expensive. It's not the most clearest of setups, but there's enough balls in there, and this is struggling to get up. So for me, the slower it goes up, and it is slowly going up, the quicker it comes down. And each of those stops, and there is a possible 5 points there, but I'm just not risking such a big bar, because if I get it wrong, it's expensive. My gut tells me if it gets below there, it'll likely come down, but I could be wrong. But we got 1, 2, 3, big bearish bar. For me, that's likely a triple test. If it's going to come down, that's the bar it's going to happen. That's going to cause it. We get down there, it'll come down, I think, then. If it gets below there, let's say there, then it's going to come down and take out that low, which there's a potential 5 points there. If I was going to short there, I'd probably want to come out there, right where that, there's probably going to be a liquidity, but you just don't know. Once it starts going like that, it does make things a little more risky, but that is the best looking bar in there for a short. And this market just doesn't look like it's ready to push up for now. It's struggling, which tells me the lesser of two evils is downwards, or yeah. Looking for a measured move to the new lows, yeah. Big strong bar there. There's bound to be some buyers there, but once we get below there, it'll get easy to get down then. Yeah, okay, so we've broken that and below that, which is better, so it'll come down a bit easier now. Trouble is, it's such a big bar, and if you get it wrong, and when it is like that, it can go wrong. I never assume anything anymore. I used to think this has got to come down, let's find a way, and then sometimes they're the most painful trades. Now it's below that, it should come down a bit easier now. I can't see many buyers there, but so let's say there's 4 points. So if I come out for 3, so I'd have comfortably got me profit, but it's just not worth it. It's such a big bar. But it does look like we've had this move back, a few attempts, plus another one, push up, drop back, a few attempts, plus another one. So yeah, I think this measured move is likely to get hit. If it'll stop. Come off it. Just going to move this out of the way a minute. It's at the bottom of there. Breakout, pull back. So let's put that there. So breakout, bullish bar here, trigger, and then down again. Leg down, leg up, leg up, leg down. Once it got past there, it was going to become a lot easier. So that's the bar. So, you know, you get to notice these things. So for me, as I mentioned, that's the one that likely to come down. But if you get it wrong, but the more you get it right, I mean, Depending on where you're going to go for, there's the potential to earn. I mean, that's gone down 12 points there, so perhaps a 5.5, 6 point risk isn't so big. But I just, at the moment, I mean, that's comfortably £10. At the moment, I don't mind leaving those. Now, if I had 20 accounts or whatever accounts with $10,000 in, then I may have a go at that. Because I think sometimes if you can get it right, you could do well. But it was about the best looking bar there. It's clearly trapped some longs there. Nice and bearish. 3 real attempts, I suppose. And then eventually, once it's got below here and below there, it's a bit easier there. So this was that measured leg. Leg down with a correction and then down again with another one. There's always that possibility as well. This thing's that bearish. We could do this and down again. I wouldn't be shocked. That's probably a lot nicer correction than that one. So I wouldn't be surprised if we ended up down here by the end of the day or an hour or two or whatever. So that's a possibility. Wow. Ethereum's, wow, Bitcoin's 78,000. This is having a proper tank. I'm so glad I sold my crypto. Ethereum's below $2,000 now. Solana, just under $120. Oh, this is either one hell of a big pullback by a massive push up. I mean, it did that last bull run, didn't it? Bitcoin dropped about 30% before it pushed up to its high, so that's possible, but I'm not willing to ride it down. And you know, I've heard some people say, just the way things are, this could be the end of the bull market. But Ethereum's had an awful year, I've got to say. I don't even think it hit $3,000, did it? No, it might have done. So the last 90 days, Ethereum's down 44%. The last year, Ethereum's down 48%. So it's really struggled. Having said that, this could be 2 pushes down before a massive push up. Who knows? Not taking the risk though. So it's a shame that wasn't a little smaller. Such a big risk. $600, yes, 6.5 points times 17. Not for me. You wouldn't even got a. You may have got a tick or so back with there, but Okay, channel break, 2 pushes to a new low. Well, let's see what happens here. I'd expect that to be vulnerable. We're not quite at that measured leg yet, so whether it'll push up above, this area here. But that's the type of trade I'd take on this other account. Going for 3 points there. It would have to hit 3, and that's that type of trap there. That to me is weak. It's floating in the middle of nowhere. We're not quite down here, so I'd expect that to push up and come down there. So that'd be 3 points if that worked. All I'd be interested in is breaking below there. We did have a little flick up there, but I don't think that'll last. So it would just have to touch that to push through. It may have even gone through there. I don't think it will. There's no way that's going to survive. I'll be getting out now. Yeah, so it would have worked. That's the type of thing I look for on that single account where I'm thinking traders are trapped. That pushes up and drops. And it's surprising how often they work. Okay, so right down to that measured leg. Leg with a correction and a leg. I mean, this could come down for a second leg for this large one. The thing's bearish enough. So we're down 120 odd points, 128 points. Unbelievable. Okay, I think I'm going to knock it on the head there, folks. So I'm going to be here an hour early tomorrow, so I'll put my time at 1:30 UK time, which is market open. My apologies earlier, I didn't realise it changed. So I prefer to trade a bit earlier anyway, so there you go. So not a terrible day tomorrow. That one account obviously helped, but up 1,800 for the day. So even a small amount, really, even without that big one, it still would have been over 1,000 just for 6 ticks on one contract. So you don't have to make a huge amount. So I'll leave you guys there. So best of luck if you keep trading. Failing that, have a great evening. Stay safe, and we'll catch up tomorrow. Bye for now.